Yo, what's up everyone? Welcome back. Jamie here with Georgia. I'm going to be talking about Dexter New Blood, episode 5, spoiler review. And a lot happened inside this episode. Oh
I'm
my
back.
god. You're back? Yeah, welcome back as well. But a lot happened though, then it was a jam-packed episode.
Yeah, it was.
It starts with Dexter debating if Harrison remembers being born in blood, doesn't it? Like Trinity killing Rita and all that.
This whole episode's a bit more about Dexter's inner turmoil.
True. But I think he does, like, it's not revealed yet, but I'm sure he does have some memory of it. Maybe not, full on, but I'm sure he has, little glimpses or something.
I don't know, because, I try and think back to when... Because how old was he when it happened?
1 or 2, maybe.
Does anyone have any memories of when they were 1 or 2 years old?
Nah. But he's obviously something going on, because as we'll get into, he's definitely playing up, like, how Dexter does, doesn't he? How he thinks people want him to be and stuff like that. But also, like you said, Dexter's in a turmoil. Like, he says that he's lonely, innit? Because, like, obviously Deborah's talking to him, like, oh, you're going to fuck him up and all this. But he's talking about how no one knows his secret and he's lonely and shit. So part of the reason why Dexter wants Harrison to have the dark passenger is so he's not alone, really, innit?
Yeah. I wonder if Harrison has... You know how Dexter had his dad and now Debbie?
Yeah.
I wonder if Harrison has someone, maybe, like Trinity or his mum.
Yeah, I think that's how Trinity will come back. He'll be like talking to Harrison or something, maybe. Because he could do a flashback where they filmed like the night Rita died. Trinity could have said something to Harrison as a kid, maybe. Because that's the only interaction they've had, haven't they? Because after that, Dexter killed Trinity, so.
Yeah.
But yeah, the what is it? They get the tip that Matt's in New York, don't they? Kurt's son, that he's spending money in New York. So Angela and the podcaster decide to go, don't they, to New York?
Yeah, and there's also a conference.
Oh yeah, a conference, which we'll get to, which is key character there. Dexter confronts him, doesn't he, about the razor, and Harrison obviously gets pissed off because he's gone through his shit.
Yeah.
So he goes drinking at a party, and like you said, it's the kill list party, and they've got the picture of all the people on the list of Ethan from the last episode.
Yeah.
And then they're all like partying when Harrison comes in. He's like the fucking hero and shit like that. So, like you said, they are feeded into his ego and sociopathic tendencies. Dexter's in the bar and Ian Kurt walks in and he immediately puts on the same song as the bartender tells Dexter. And that's the same song he played in it when he
I was going to say, isn't that the same song that he plays when...
on the record?
Yeah.
The vinyl, yeah. So it's obviously some sort of like ritual thing, innit? Definitely.
Yeah. Something I noticed is that, you know how Dexter is all calm and cool when he plans to kill or has killed someone, he's very calm, cool, collected. The other 2 possible killers, well, we know one is a killer, the other one we don't know just yet. Kurt and Harrison, they're partying at the same... Well, Kurt's partying in his style, and Harrison goes to a party. So those 2 are partying at the same time after they've committed, horrible things. So, like, to me, I feel like those 2 can't deal with what they have done.
Harrison ends up taking ecstasy, doesn't he? And he starts like, tripping out from it a little bit. And then he goes downstairs and you got those 2 girls and she's like, oh, can you carve a H into my ankle so I always remember this night or some shit?
Yeah, I
thought he was like tripping. I thought that was not real at first, but it was real, wasn't it? I think.
I thought that was just in his mind, but no, that really happens. She really asks for it. Like,
and he ends up cutting her.
You have stories of people giving tattoos at parties, the stick and poke ones, in a drunken mess. Never have I heard of, oh, slice me up, daddy,
I know. I guess it was just the reason to get Harrison holding the blade, really, wasn't it? But before he passes out, he tells I forgot her name, it's Angela's daughter, innit?
Audrey.
Audrey tells Audrey that Dexter's real name isn't Jim before he passes out, and that comes back later on in the episode. But as soon as he's saying that, I was like, shut up, Harrison, don't fucking blow his cover now, for fuck's sake.
When he says it, I think to myself, oh, she's not going to believe him because he's obviously and clearly high and drunk and stuff.
Yeah.
So I think to myself, oh, she's not going to believe this, but then, yeah, it comes back.
It comes back in a big way. So we see the girl from the last episode, don't we? She's locked in the room where Kurt took her, and she notices the camera. Bit? It's not. No, we're not on that bit, and it's not my favourite bit either. But obviously, at this point, it's pretty much confirmed that it's Kurt in it. Like, we know.
Yeah.
And it was the last episode that confirmed it when we seen him drop him off, but this further validates it. Dexter hunts down the drug dealer who supplied the drugs at the party. Not the guy who made it, the guy who supplied it first. He starts hunting him down, doesn't he?
Miles, yeah.
And then he finally finds him at the bar, and he go outside, he injects him. And the fucking police show up, Logan and the other guys show up, so he just, he changes it and he starts beating him up, and he's like, stay the fuck away from his son.
That bit's quite funny, just the change of characters, like, stay away from my fucking son.
Quick thinking though, isn't it? Angela and a podcast to go to New York, don't they? The press conference like we mentioned, and Batista finally back doing a fucking press conference. That was really good.
He doesn't look like he's changed one bit.
Nah, he really doesn't. And hopefully, it's not just a one episode thing, but hopefully I don't know. But it's something like you point, like Logan's interviewing the what's his name, Miles, in the police station, but the fucking door's wide open, so Dexter's just there and you can hear what the actual guy's name is.
There's a few things in this episode where I just where I watch it and I'm like, that's too convenient. The door open. If I was Dexter, I would have locked Harrison in the house. Sure. Like locked all the windows and all the doors, but Harrison just was able to just walk out. And
I can sort of buy that one though, because he's like a new parent and he didn't know what to do.
Yeah.
And maybe he trusted him to stay inside as well. Because remember when he comes back, like Harrison leaves, doesn't he? But he ends up coming back, and Dexter don't even know that he left the house because Dexter's busy at the police station and shit.
Yeah, but he's suspicious because he's not hungry.
So yeah, Dexter overhears the name of the guy who actually makes the drugs. And in this bit, it's not my favourite bit, but the girl starts undressing, doesn't she, on the camera? And it's because it's an important part in it, because Kurt gets frustrated, doesn't he? You can tell this isn't a sexual thing for him, is it? Because he starts turning the camera off and he gets angry. That's
one of the notes that I put down, that Kurt doesn't do this. He only seems to take in runaway girls.
True.
It makes you think that maybe it's a sexual thing, but he clearly doesn't do this for any sexual reasons. I think he really enjoys the hunt. That's another convenient thing, because like I said, when he takes that girl down that corridor.
You don't question it. It's just sure.
You don't question that creepy ass corridor at all.
A long ass corridor going underground.
Yeah,
like, what the fuck?
Underground and just one room, just one like really nice, luxurious hotel.
I know, but
room.
she likes, what is it, the jacuzzi or whatever. That kind of buys her over, doesn't it? When she's like, oh yeah, you got a jacuzzi.
Is there a shower in there? She just wants to shower in a bath or something.
Yeah, like I said, Dexter goes to the drug maker's house, doesn't it? And then we go back to Kurt, and he tells the girl she can leave, but she's like, come make me. So he goes down there, and she gets a slash on his face, but he ends up taking her outside, and he's like, you can leave, run. And she doesn't run. Instead, she runs at him, so he ends up shooting her through the eye.
I love this bit in particular because his Mr. Krabs voice comes out when he panics. It makes me laugh because all I can picture is Mr. Krabs.
But this is the part where he's like, this isn't the way, in it. He's trying to tell her to run, because obviously he's got a ritual going here where he has to, like, I'm guessing because he ends up shooting her there, doesn't he, when she's on the floor. So maybe that's like the ritual, he has to shoot her through the heart or some shit like that. But he starts freaking out, doesn't he?
That's how you hunt, isn't it? You
True.
aim for like the head or the heart or something. So that's why I say he enjoys the hunt rather than for any other desires. Because he dresses like a hunter as well.
I think he's reenacting something. You remember like how Trinity would reenact the 3 kills? I think maybe it's something with his past or something, I don't know, but it seems like everything has to be a specific thing, doesn't it? Even with the music as well. So I think either it was something that happened to him or someone else. Like, it's something to do with his past though, definitely. Yeah, he's recreating something from his past.
Or if it's something to do with his wife, because there's no mention of his wife.
Yeah, there we go. Yeah, that could be exciting. Why it's always girls as well, isn't it? That would make sense.
Yeah.
Angela introduces herself to Batista, don't he? And they start talking. And she's telling him about like the missing girl cases in Dying Lake.
And Batista's asking like, what's the what the patterns and stuff.
And he mentions it reminds him of the Trinity case, doesn't it? And he's like, oh, Deborah Morgan helped us solve it. And she's like, oh, can I talk to her? And he's like, no, she's dead. And her brother died as well.
He didn't say it in that way, but...
No, but I'm not going to fucking quote the specific lines, am I? And then he's saying, oh, it's a shame about his son in it. And he's like, I don't remember his name. And then we're like, oh, he's not going to remember it. And he turns around and he's like, oh, yeah, it was Harrison.
And our reactions are, he said it!
He said it. And obviously that starts making Angela's head turn just a little bit, because who else does she know with a boy called Harrison?
Harrison's not a common name either. It's either Harry or something else, but
True.
Harrison's very specific.
So Dexter sets up the kill room, doesn't he, with the drug maker, with all the photos of the people who've overdosed on the drugs.
The photos are back, yeah.
Yeah, and just before he starts doing it, we hear a fucking car pull up outside, and who is it? It's Logan once again.
Stokes wannabe.
It's Stokes wannabe.
In
But the
the
timing in it,
area.
it's a time cut in it, like the time editing of this, because Logan's outside, and then we see we see Dexter, he gets the drugs and he starts overdosing the guy tied up, doesn't they? Which is a good way to, cover his tracks, I guess. But then we see that shot from the trailer where the SWAT team like come into the house, and then the guy's upstairs fully dressed but obviously overdosed. So Dexter's had enough time to dress him and shit like that.
Make sure he's dead as well.
Yeah, but I guess like you said, Logan was sat outside, and we don't know how long it took for the SWAT team to arrive.
Yeah.
Angela and the podcast look at the CCTV, don't they, at the hotel, and they realise Matt is not Matt. Because unless he's jumped in age like 15 years or something, it's not Matt.
It is Matt, it's just not the Matt.
But obviously Kurt's covering his tracks though, isn't it? It's either Kurt or maybe it's that guy we're not seeing in a few episodes, with the oil guy or whatever.
I don't know. To be honest, in the CCTV footage in the hotel, the guy looks on edge.
He
He's
does,
looking
yeah,
around.
true. So maybe he was forced to do it or something like that. Harrison's leaving, isn't he? But Kurt bumps into him and he offers him to buy him a meal before he leaves. And then they're like talking and he's telling him like not to run away and shit. And he offers him a job, which is what happened to the last two girls, or the last one at least.
Yeah.
Not seen Kurt kill any boys, but we don't know how the ritual works yet, do we? But that was what was going through my mind when he picked him up and offered him the job.
I think Kurt's just gonna give him a job. I don't think
Maybe.
he's gonna do anything. Ooh, what if he gives Harrison the job and then he somehow gets Audrey?
Maybe.
That would be that would go well in a storyline.
And speaking of Audrey as well, she tells Angela, doesn't she, what Harrison told her about Jim's name not really being Jim.
So
and
Angela knows that there's a boy called Harrison somewhere. So it's kind of adding
sends
up.
her off, doesn't it? Yeah, and that sends her to the computer, and she finds Dexter's obituary. And she prints it off, and that's how the episode ends. So shit's happening here. Like I said, a lot happened in this episode. I kept expecting it to go off, and it just kept going. I was like, holy shit, we're getting a lot here.
I felt like this episode was a bit longer, but I think it's because there was so much happened.
Yeah, so much happened in it, definitely. So it's already setting the stage at this point. I thought the podcaster would be the one to reveal Dexter, but I guess it's going to be Angela, maybe. Who knows? But yeah, it's eating up this season. We're like nearly halfway through, but it's really getting good. That's going to do it for this review. Make sure you like and subscribe if you're new. Check out George's social links down below. Until next week, in a bit.